Welcome you on the show, Weekend Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. You just saw there our ladies, that's Flamingos under 17, who are right now over there at Santo Domingo, where they will be playing in the World Cup. And right now they are battle ready. They are trying to keep fit ahead of the competition. They will also be playing against New Zealand, Ecuador, and also the host nation, Dominican Republic, in the competition that will be starting by 16. And right now, our team, Flamingos, are really trying their best to see how they can be at their best ahead of this competition. And we wish them the best. Talking about the World Cup, under 17 World Cup is coming up. And right now, we have 3 nations from Africa. We have Nigeria, Kenya, and also Zambia making the cut to play at the competition. For Flamingos, who are right now in the Dominican Republic ahead of this competition, they are trying their best to see how they will be in good shape so that they'll be able to put up at least a very good performance against all the teams that will be facing in this competition. It's a World Cup for the women under 17, and FIFA are ready to also allow young, talented footballers to showcase their talent at this particular competition. It's a platform for them to be discovered. And we are Nigeria, Zambia, and Kenya will be representing Africa at the competition. They are wishing the Flamingos the best at the World Cup. Also, as it is right now, we know that Super Eagles will be playing their own game. That's to do with AFCON qualifier, but that will be starting during the week, where the players will be coming in to camp. Away from that, just to give you some review of the week on the show concerning Flamingos there. From the week review, let's talk about Nigerian women cricket team. Recently, they really did well in the competition. They participated in South Africa, and right now, that has actually given them another opportunity to be ranked 24th in the world right now. They are formerly standing 28th, but right now, the International Cricket Council deemed it fit, ICC deemed it fit to at least uplift our team. Now they are standing 24th. From 28, they jumped 4 positions to move to 24th in the world. South Africa still remain number 1 in Africa, and you look at Zimbabwe coming second ahead of the likes of Rwanda. Kenya are now standing 28 in the world. Australia at number 1 in the world in the current ranking of the International Cricket Council for women. So for Nigeria, well, they are trying their best, because right now they are up from 28 to 24th. Since the ranking of this women category is the 4th time, Nigeria will actually get to be in the 24th position in the world ranking for women cricket. Just to give you a review of what is actually happened during the week. Sit on the show, and this time around, let's talk about the Nigerian Football Federation. During the week, they launched a particular award of the month, that's Player of the Month. Let's start from the Discovery of the Month. Yes, they just mentioned that they have a Discovery of the Month, where players that have been discovered, talented players, will also be given that nod to have a category of the award. From there to Goal of the Month. The Goal of the Month will also come up, where any player that wins the Goal of the Month will also be able to at least get nominated and also win the award. While from there, they will also look at, they have to do with both male and female. That's Player of the Month for male, Player of the Month for female in that NFF award, where they are just being categorized. Well, that's a good one coming from Nigerian Football Federation, deeming it fit to organize monthly award for at least the players, both those that played in Nigeria, NPFL, and also those that applied their trade abroad. So for Player of the Month, award for men, and for women, Goal of the Month, and Discovery of the Month. Those are the 4 categories of award raised by NFF that will be starting, and any moment the list will be out, where fans can vote. Fans will actually amass 40% of the award vote, while the remaining 60% will go to journalists and also stakeholders in that's the game of football. Good one coming from Nigerian Football Federation to see how they will at least get the best out of Nigerian footballers plying their trade at home and those plying their trade outside Nigeria. Still looking at the week in review, let's talk about the UEFA Champions League during the week. The 3 tiers of UEFA competition, UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and also UEFA Conference League took place. And we just look at how the table stands right now after they play those games. You look at Borussia Dortmund are back to top, even though it was Bayern Munich that was dominated before. But right now they've been pushed down, so it is now Borussia Dortmund, another German team, who are at the top after their match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League that actually played out during the week. Well, for match day 2, you look at Brest coming second. Benfica are standing tall there. The first 8, they will automatically qualify for round of 16. From now till January, if they actually run it like this as a marathon or as a league, the first 8 teams qualify for the round of 16. From 9 to 24, they will fight for knockout phase playoff, while from 24th to 36 will actually be eliminated. Well, so far, young boys are down the long on 36th position. You look at Milan, Lille, Barcelona, Real Madrid standing 16 and 17. Atlanta and Sporting 11 and 12. But Juventus, Man City, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Leverkusen, Benfica are all standing at top with that from number 1 to number 8 on match day 2. So it's a long journey till January before they move to round of 16. After the table, we have gotten the first 8 and also from 9 to 24 to fight for honors there. Also, in the second tier of UEFA competition, we have Europa League also being played during the week. Let's look at the way the table stands around after match day 2 of the Europa League there. Lazio from Rome, they are still standing top there with 6 points, followed by Lyon from France. Tottenham Hotspur, they actually standing top there. FSCB, Anderlecht, Ajax, Frankfurt, Galatasaray in that pecking order there. Just the way it is in the UEFA Champions League, the same way it is in the second tier of UEFA competition, Europa League. While you look at down the log is Sociedad, Union, SG, Roma in that pecking order for the match day 2 of Europa League. Well, a good one for all the English team. They all won their games in the match day 2, both the UEFA Champions League, and they also did well in the Europa League right now. For the third tier of the UEFA competition that has to do with that's UEFA Conference, the one they call Europa Conference. Well, they just played their own match day 1, and you look at it's still a marathon anyway, just the way it is in the first and second tier, the same way to be on the third tier, where they just have to do well to see how they will actually remain top 8 there. Well, Monia, Pafos, Lugano in that order. Chelsea, watch out for Chelsea. They are going to be coming up. They are standing seats on the law, but they just want to see how they can do well in this competition, the third tier of UEFA competition there. At least having a review of what has happened during the week in the world of sport for you there. And right now we talk about Paul Pogba. News came out yesterday concerning the ban he has been on. The ban actually is supposed to stand for 4 years, but right now Paul Pogba, that ban has been reduced to 18 months. So it means by January, Pogba can actually start training with his team Juventus, and who knows, by March or rather by April, he'll be able to at least start playing football. So good one. A lot of people have been at least sounding a note of appreciation to FIFA for deeming fit to see what they can do concerning the after going to court, and the Court of Arbitration for Sports CAS were able to rescind their decision by reducing that particular ban to 18 months instead of 4 years. But Pogba, very talented player from France, right now that ban has been reduced from 4 years to 18 months. So we want to see him to get to field of play to see how he'll be doing well when it comes to playing football. Just in the wrap for you there concerning activities in the world of sport for the week, a lot of activities, but you also have to pick those on out. Flamingo, Nigerian women cricket team, not forgetting UEFA Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, and also talking about Paul Pogba. As we speak right now, our players, Flamingos, are already in Dominican Republic ahead of the world competition called FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup that will be starting there. We wish them the best as they will be prosecuting all their games there. Well, right now that we have looked at the activities in the world of that's the week review, let's come to the activities for this weekend. Matches are all for grabs in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and it's a week of action because the big guys are really trying to see how they can stay relevant when it comes to the NPFL this season. It has been a performance that a lot of Nigerians are very happy about, because right now we are seeing away teams doing well, winning games. And now let's look at the fixtures for this weekend in the NPFL. Well, it's a big one because we have Battle of the Oriental team. Right now you have the likes of Enugu Rangers against Abia Warriors. That's a big one. They are happening in the eastern part of Nigeria. Bende Insurance will be hosting El Kanemi Warriors. City Stars of Ibadan away to Lobby Stars, who will be playing today. Kwara United against Remo Star, the table topper. Enugu Rangers, Abia Warriors. Eyimba versus Katsina United. Eyimba and Rangers won their scheduled game during the week. Heartland Kano Pillars will be at home against Sunshine Stars and Niger Tornadoes, while Nasarawa United play on Sunday against Bayelsa United. Ikorodu City travel to Jos, where they will be facing Plateau United, and Rivers United in another South-South derby against Aqua United over there in Port Harcourt. Big matches for this weekend, and you look at all the games, they are really worth it in match day 5 of the NPFL. Well, looking at the way the table is before we come back to the fixtures, so far in the NPFL, we know that Remo Stars are still topping the chart there. It's really getting their groove right. They are really topping in the NPFL table, showing their class. While the likes of Eyimba right now have been able to get to this third position, and they've tried their best to at least win their outstanding match, and they did well there by winning that match by a long goal. Rivers United also, they are standing second with 10 points after trailing Remo Stars, who actually have 12 points, winning 4 matches out of 4. Niger Tornadoes, Katsina United, Sunshine Stars in that pecking order. Rangers International are now 7th on the log, while you have El Kanemi Warriors, Nasarawa United are standing 10th on the log. And if you go down to 17, 18, 19, and 20, you have Bayelsa United, Heartland FC, Ikorodu City, and Lobby Stars in the pecking order of how the NPFL table right now appears there. Well, right now, joining us to talk sport this hour. Before we open the phone line, let's run through some of the activities of fixtures for this weekend in the world of football. And we just hear Mark, the one that has to do with Nigerian Premier Football League. And Joseph Peter is there to join us from Kaduna. Joseph Peter, we know that a lot of Erik ten Hag in Nigerian League right now, because they are yet to really do well when it comes to football activities. So teams like Lobby Stars, Bayelsa United are not finding it easy at all. Like someone said, one writer said, a lot of Ten Hag in Nigerian Premier League, rather Football League, and it's really becoming a big one because we have teams that are yet to win matches after playing 4 matches in the NPFL. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. And it's really, really interesting in the Nigerian Premier League this season because it's true. We have a lot of Ten Hags in this league now. A lot of coaches under pressure. The Bayelsa United coach, especially the Lobby Stars coach. I don't know how it just automatically went wrong for them. The whole games that have been played so far, they've not been able to do anything reasonable. And looking at how well they performed last season, nobody would have expected that they would be, in the condition where they are, and put the coach where he's in the position where he is. But I have this kind of different view about coaches being sacked. I believe that since sporting directors and club chairmen are given like maybe 2-3 years to sort out their team and produce good performance, why are coaches being judged based on 4 matches, right? So maybe there is no bit of fairness in it, but then this is what it is. This is football. When you are employed, you are expected to give results. So that kind of, makes the competition, the whole NPFL league to be kind of a lot tougher than it used to be. And then you speak about the good, officiating that has been going on so far, which is why we are seeing away teams going and picking points and winning. It kind of improves the game. And now another thing, when you were talking about the activities of the previous week, you mentioned, how there are a lot of categories of kind of award now being given to, players that perform well, the best player, the best goalkeeper, the new discovery and all that. Coming from where we've been, a situation whereby players are not even like players like previously, players like those high goal scorers are not being given their prizes until the new season and even long into another season. It's a very, very good development. It's a big bold step that the NPFL has taken in this kind of, at the right time, because coming from that kind of situation to a situation where a lot of other categories are being created and being actually awarded weekly, I mean, that's massive, massive improvement, and I'm all good and I'm all for that. And the league is going to be tough this week, and I'm looking at matches that looks like an Oriental derby, though it is not. The Rangers and Abia Warriors, I think that's going to be a very, very tough one. And I believe the previous coach of Abia has coached actually Rangers to a league, Imam Akab or something like that. I can't really remember his name, but him facing Ilechu Kuda, I would love to see what would be the outcome of this match. It's going to be a very, very tough one.
Imam Mamakabo is the coach of Abia Warriors. A big one there coming up when it comes to football this weekend. We've been talking concerning the NPFL match day 5. And like I said, a lot of Eric Ten Hag, under pressure coaches, Babagana Ruiz also under pressure with his team. Not forgetting, teams are really not getting it right. They just want to see how they will do well for this match day 5 in the NPFL. Rangers will be playing against Abia Warriors. You have Bayelsa United also. They will be locking horns. All the teams are battle ready. But for this weekend, are we going to be seeing what we saw so far from day 1 till now, where teams are beginning to win away easily? You look at away wins is actually getting better concerning the NPFL. Officiating is getting better right now. So you look at our league, we are really getting it sanitized, and a lot of at least advancement, improvement, if we are so to say, is actually happening to NPFL. Now, talking about the fixtures again, like I mentioned, there are teams that are yet, like Lobby Stars. Surprisingly, Lobby Stars are really not getting their groove well. Lobby Stars will be playing against Shooting Stars. Hopefully, maybe they'll be able to win this particular game. They've not been able to do well at all in this competition, where Coach Eugene Agabe needs to tighten his belt if he wants to remain there, because a lot of clubs are already right now looking at, would they be going for another coach? Let's see maybe which coach will be sacked first so far in the NPFL. Because if you look at how the table is and compare the fixtures for this weekend, you see that teams they really need to win for them to stay afloat. I'm talking about their coaches right now. Well, for Kano Pillars, will be having 2 players who actually be with Super Eagles, Ahmed Musa and Shehu Abdullahi. The 2 players are now back to Kano Pillars, and it's possible that they will be unleashed with that team for their weekend game. And right now, and at least a lot of Kano Pillar fans are happy that Ahmed Musa and Shehu Abdullahi, who are at least international players, are back to the team, and they will be at least adding their own experience for Kano Pillars. Joseph Peter, you want to agree with me that the inclusion of Shehu Abdullahi and Ahmed Musa to that team will actually speak volume?
A lot. I'm so excited for Kano Pillars at this moment, because you know, it's not just the fact that it's Ahmed Musa and Shehu Abdullahi, it's also the fact that there's a friendship between those two. So there's a double positive energy coming into the Kano Pillars team. Aside that, also aside the performance that they would give, aside that, they would be also the motivation and the kind of inspiration they will be to the younger players in Kano Pillars right now, and the way they would help they will pump up the camp. You know, everybody will be positive, and it will go a long way in helping them. And this won't just help Kano Pillars. This will kind of transmit into the NPFL itself. It will make it a bit more competitive. I'm quite sure you'd agree with me that these are 2 good internationals that have made their mark on this planet when it comes to football. And therefore, because of the fact that they are joining the NPFL now, the NPFL will become better, if adding to the fact that the officiating is good. Of course, it will develop the standard of the league, So this is a very, very big one for Kano Pillars, and I'm so happy for them.
Well, from the at least matches for this weekend in NPFL, we're looking at the teams at least participating. And if you look at teams like Ikorodu City, well, being at least on NPFL's platform right now, it has not been easy for them too. They are struggling. Yes, they are newcomers, but the business of fire from the Nigerian Premier Football League is taking a toll on them. But surprisingly, you've seen some teams who, normally by now, they will have been able to pick up, but one of them is Lobby Stars, and it's surprising what is happening to your team. Yes, that's your team, Joseph. They actually have size, according to how they call them. The shoe get size team. It's like, what is happening to the shoe? Is he cutting off or is he reducing?
It's so disturbing what is actually happening over there at Lobby. I don't really know the problem. I can't really place my hand and say this is the issue. I wanted to think maybe they did too many recruitments, and those recruitments hadn't really turned out well for them. But you look at the base of the team is there, right? The base of the team, like the most important players are there. Those players that actually did well last season are kind of there, right? So that should give them the setup that they need, the backing that they need to actually perform going into this season. But I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect, between them and between the coaching staff and the players. that's the only place I can really place my hand and say something is missing, something is off there. Somebody was talking to me and he said management, and I'm saying I don't really know the management of Lobby Stars, right? But sometimes that too can contribute. The motivation that goes to the players can contribute, but it is not doom and gloom yet. It's just 4 matches, right? There are lots of matches coming ahead. They can actually turn things around. They have the time. I believe they have the expertise. They have good players in Lobby Stars, and they've been there. They've won before. They're actually winners in that team, so, and I believe that they can actually turn it around. So yeah, they should be able to turn it around moving forward. But maybe if it gets worse, then there will need to be a bit of change. Of course, you can't change all the players, but you can change the coach, right? So I hope that something gets done. Yeah, I hope that something gets done and they actually go back to where we know them, where they used to be.
Okay, now let's go back to the fixtures there for the NPFL. We look at a particular match that's actually catching your fancy when it comes to the NPFL for this weekend right now. Heartland, Laliga, Tornado, Sunshine Stars, Kano Pillars. Joseph Peter, which match here are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the Enugu Rangers Abia Warriors game. That's where my attention is, because the previous coach of Enugu is in Abia now, and he probably knows his onions. He knows his onions already, and he probably knows what to expect from the Enugu Rangers players. So I just want to see that that battle between, see who wins this particular encounter. That's where my attention is driving to right now this week.
Well, big matches coming up there in the NPFL. Teams like Heartland, they will be trying to see how they can stay on. Emmanuel Amunike, with all the experience, things are not really going easy. Rivers United, yes, under Finidi George. Well, they are trying their best right now. At least they stay second on the log. Eyimba International, well, Coach Yemitu is trying his best to see how Eyimba will stay on. For Raymond Stars, Ogumode is the man. He's topping the league there. While the likes of Rangers International, they want to see how they can win the Battle of the Oriental against Abia Warriors. That's Imama Amapakabo, where he actually plays straight. Matches on for this weekend in the NPFL. Well, before we open the phone line for you to also tell us which match is really getting your attention, let's quickly run through the top 5 leagues in Europe, then we'll come back and at least unveil the phone line there. Right now, Joseph Peter, hang on there with us. Quickly, let's run through English Premier League fixtures. Let's talk about it. Let's have it. Now we have Crystal Palace against Liverpool, Arsenal, Southampton. All the matches are lined up for this weekend. Aston Villa, Manchester United. What are we expecting between this match, the two teams at the Villa Park? Well, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham Hotspur away to Brighton. You have Everton, Newcastle United, another big match there. These are the teams, these are the matches for the match day 7 in the English Premier League for you there. Quickly, let's look at the top 5 teams so far in the log table, the top 5 leagues the 4-5 teams in the NPFL, EPL. We have Liverpool with 15 points, Manchester City 14, Arsenal are standing, they have 14. They are Chelsea, Aston Villa in that pecking order in the Premier League. Right now, Liverpool are really trying to see how they can run away with it. Well, it's still open because it's a marathon. Match day 6 table, so they are going for match day 7. I just have to quickly at least showcase the top 5 in Premier League. Straight on to Spanish La Liga matches for this weekend. In the La Liga games, we have Espanyol Mallorca, Real Betis Sevilla, Sociedad host will be playing against Villarreal at the Santiago Bernabeu, Las Palmas against Celta de Vigo, Girona Athletic Club. While you look at games really set for this weekend, tough one there, tough matches in the La Liga. For the top 5 teams in the La Liga, you also have to appreciate the fact that Real Madrid and Barcelona are still showing their class as the top teams in the La Liga there. 21 points, and you have Real Madrid with 18 points, Atletico with 16, followed by Atletico Bilbao, while Mallorca stand 5th there, well, for the top 5 in the Spanish La Liga. German Bundesliga fixtures for this weekend. Matches are all Bundesliga, where Bayer Leverkusen, Victor Boniface will be scoring for this weekend against Ostel Kiel. Wolfsburg away to Bochum, Werder Bremen, Freiburg. Bayern Munich, they'll be facing Eintracht Frankfurt as Werder Bremen Ulster, Freiburg in their own games, where St. Pauli also lock on against Mainz 05. The top table is always a big one because Bayern will never ever want to drop the baton there. Let's look at the top 5 of the German Bundesliga. 13 points for Bayern, Eintracht Frankfurt 12 points, just a point separating the two teams. RB Leipzig with 11, Leverkusen 10, and Dortmund 10. The big boys are arranging themselves in the top 5. That's the logo on the table of German Bundesliga there. Quickly, Italian Serie A fixtures for this weekend. Juventus will be in the Italian Serie A. They are against Cagliari. Bologna at home against Parma. While Empoli, they will be away to Lazio, the city of Rome. Fiorentina, AC Milan, Udinese. Our goalkeeper, Maduka Okoye, will be in goal against Lecce. While Atalanta, Ademola Lookman's team, will be playing against Genoa. Inter Milan, well, right now at the Giuseppe Meazza, will be hosting Torino in those fixtures for the weekend. Right now, you look at the table so far. Inter Milan are also dictating, among the dictator of that particular league there. Well, but you can't take it away because Napoli have been able to do well so far. At least Antonio Conte have turned things around. They are table topper ahead of Juventus, Milan, Inter Milan, and Torino. Torino, AC Milan, and Inter Milan are still among the at least table toppers there. But for Napoli, they've been able to showcase why they won the league sometimes back, and now they still stand 13 points ahead of others with 12 and 11 respectively. Straight down to French League One, you look at matches for this weekend in the French League, where the likes of Olympique Lyon will be playing Nantes, that's Moses Simon team, away to Lyon, while Reims against Montpellier, Lens against Strasbourg, while PSG tabletop will be facing OGC Nice in their own game. Lille will be hosting Toulouse. Lille did well during the week, defeating Real Madrid to break their unbeaten run. And if you convert that to how the table is after their match day 6 fixtures that they will play, you have PSG with 16 points, followed by Monaco, but on goal difference, PSG are leading there. Marseille are standing third, while Reims and Lille are following suit in the top 5 in French League One there. Well, to let you have all the fields concerning the matches for this weekend and also the top 5 in all the leagues in Europe, that has to do the top 5 in Europe, and also we have also showcased the Nigerian Premier Football League or the table toppers there, Remo Stars, Rivers United, Eyimba International in that pecking order. For the matches for this weekend, well, right now we just showcase all the matches, and I want to ask you out there, which match are you looking forward to? Could it be in the NPFL or in the Premier League, or rather it could be in La Liga, Italian Serie A, Bundesliga, and also it could be in French League. There are people who actually follow Brazilian League, there are people who follow Turkish League, but right now we are focusing on 6 of them. NPFL, you just have to look at our own. A big match coming up between Rangers and Abia Warriors in the Oriental Derby. We also have Rivers United against Aqua United. Shooting Stars are away to face Lobby Stars. Big matches coming up this weekend, and a lot of them that will be on the screen. But right now, we open phone line. Remember, when you are calling us, please stay away from your TV set. Tell us your name, your location, and make your point. All the fixtures that I've actually unveiled earlier, which of them is actually catching your fancy. Well, back to you, Joseph. We rolled through all the matches for this weekend. We talk with you concerning NPFL. Let's digress a bit and look at the matches in the Premier League. We know that Chelsea will be at home against Nottingham Forest. We know that Manchester City also be playing their game. They are ready. They want to see how they can upset Liverpool. Liverpool too, they are battle ready. Aston Villa hosts Manchester United. Pressure on Erik ten Hag and his team, and they go to Unai Emery's home. And you know that the man has turned things around with Aston Villa so far. What are you expecting? Arsenal, Southampton, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, Manchester City, Fulham. When was the last time they did that by beating Manchester City? Can they do it? Is it possible? Those are the matches for you, Joseph Peter. Let's have it.
You know, this is a tricky week for Erik ten Hag. It's just so unfortunate that, you know, whenever we are speaking about the Premier League, most of the time, 60-70% we will be talking about Ten Hag, and his name is just so like a common denominator when it comes to conversation about the Premier League, and it's because of the performance of Man United. And of course, it's going to be a very difficult one for them at Villa Park. Usually, Villa Park is a very hostile place to go to. Not to talk more of when they are in this current form, having Unai Emery, who has turned a lot of things around. Seeing them win against Bayern Munich has already pumped them up. I'm sure that dressing room is filled up with positive vibe and a lot of confidence. So it's going to be a very very difficult game for Manchester United, who are really really struggling. Almost lost their game there at Portugal, if not for the goal from Harry Maguire. So it's going to be a very, very tough game and a very exciting one for that matter, especially for those who are not Manchester United fans, because, realistically speaking, nobody would expect them to go to Villa and take a point. But then this is football. Anything can happen. And like I love to say, anytime Ten Hag is, close to the sack, usually his players do turn up and kind of get results for him. It has not exactly been like that, but it kind of is, because if not, they would have lost the game against Porto. But Harry Maguire from nowhere came in as a sub by Eric Ten Hag and scored the equalizer, which kind of eased the nerves that is around the club right now. But I wonder how long that can last. I wonder how long it will last. However, this is a very very tricky game for them, notwithstanding, and we expect Villa to take the maximum point. But if not, Man United can actually put a surprise and try to gather themselves together and save their season. Or maybe it's going to be a situation where they lose badly, and then we go for the international break, and before we come back, another man is sitting on the seat of Eric Ten Hag as the coach of Manchester United. Anything is possible. As for Man City, Fulham, Fulham is, in having some kind of form, really playing well with the young Emil Smith-Rowe, making things stick in the midfield of Fulham, and they are scoring goals and actually winning matches that usually you wouldn't expect Fulham to win. So are they going to be so easy for? Are they going to be hard for Man City? We all know what Man City can do. We know Man City can humble them, and we know that the game is going to be played at the Etihad. So I'm really not expecting Fulham to take that their form down to that particular game. They may make the game difficult for Man City, but I believe Man City will win the game at the end.
Okay, well, we have a caller there who wants to contribute. Are you there? Okay, hopefully we'll call back. Well, while you were making your points, well, when it comes to football, we know that the season is no longer a joke that has started. At least they're going for match day 7 now for NPFL match day 5, and you see other leagues too, match day 5, match day 6 in France, in Germany, in Italy, like that. Well, right now, teams are really quickly making here right now when the sun is still shining, are ready to see how they can control that till end. And you see some teams naturally they pick up from the beginning to the end. Some pick up in the middle of the park, maybe half season by January, while some from the beginning they will just be on fire. The likes of Manchester City right now. Liverpool seems to be coming back. What are you? The way the Reds seems to be. They are finding their way back to the top. And Slot, since he took over, it seems he has gotten the rhythm of that club back. And anytime Liverpool mean business, they always mean it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the thing is, Liverpool have actually always been there, contending for the league. Last season they were there in competing for it till at least the last 2-3 games, maybe 4 games. So it's not like they've been out of it anyway. It's not like they've gone before, so they are not exactly coming back. They've been present, just that they've not done enough, And it has always been the narrative of Arsenal, Man City for a couple of seasons right now. So that's why Liverpool is being not discussed as much as they should be when it comes to the championship in England. But they are actually the top of the league right now, and they are in the mix, and they will remain in the mix up until when I believe squad depth will be an issue for them, because they don't really have the squad depth that the other two contenders have. The likes of Arsenal and Man City have a wider squad when it comes to players than that of the Liverpool. That's the only thing that worries me about Liverpool. But of course, I expect them to be up there with Arsenal and Man City competing for the league till towards the end of the season, or maybe when the going gets tough, which is around usually February and March next year. Can their team stand it? What will happen, when it comes to injury and all that? So, when you look at the way the teams are being arranged, even though Liverpool is at the top, when you ask people, majority of people who they expect to win the Premier League, a lot of people will tell you Man City and they would, probably go for Arsenal before they go for Liverpool. Why? It's just so, it's not rocket science that yes, those two teams are actually better than Liverpool, even though Liverpool are at the top of the table. And yes, Anslot has gotten his rhythm right. He didn't need to do a lot, to the squad to actually get them moving, because he made a very very good foundation which was laid by Klopp. So you would expect them to keep up what Klopp has been doing. So yeah, for me this is just normal coming from Liverpool.
Well, I would digress a bit. Let's talk about Spanish La Liga. Recently, Real Madrid seems to have lost some momentum. If you look at their performance in the Champions League, even in the league, they are trailing Barcelona. And it seems Barcelona too, they got a new man at least has been able to turn things around with them. The way it is with Liverpool, the way it is with Barcelona right now, Real Madrid are like Man City of England. Sir, what do you? It seems just by like a tweak, it seems Real Madrid are not really getting the moment right now, right? Despite all the stars.
Madrid are not really there. They would be there, and there is no better person to take them there than Carlo Ancelotti. He would do it. We're just going to have to be patient a bit with them. I believe that they would start getting their act right, and they would actually find that form. There's a bit of I don't know. I don't want to call it the form. None of the players I would look at and say, okay, he has lost form exactly. But just the income, the coming in of Mbappe has not really done a lot of good for them so far, which I know they will turn it around. It's just that the coming in of Mbappe has kind of disrupted the team, the fluidity in their game, and they need to get used to this this particular version of themselves, and find their form, find their balance. And once Madrid finds that balance, I believe they'll be unstoppable. Yeah, the league just started. How many matches into the season? Barcelona is leading, but even Barcelona, despite their improvement, are not exactly perfect. If you look at their previous game, which they wasn't able to win. So in the French in the yeah, I think they faced the French team in the Champions League. So they struggled also in that game. So it's not exactly where the league is not where we should start looking at Madrid and start being worried that Madrid will not do their usual. This is Madrid. If there's anything in this world that can turn things around, I'm sure they will be number one. So I expect them to turn it around, find the balance, of including Mbappe into their team.
We just touched on Spanish La Liga there. Why you at least want to make a contribution? Any league you support? Is it Spain you follow? Is it Spanish La Liga rather? Italian Serie A? German Bundesliga? Is it NPFL? Yes, we have people that love our league so much that they don't even bother about those foreign leagues. All they want to know is to hear about Shooting Stars, El Academy Warriors, Kano Pillars, and also not forgetting Heartland FC. So their matches are up for this weekend too. If there's the team you follow, you can pick up your phone and also make contribution so far. And aside that, let's talk about Napoli. Napoli seems to have been able to get it right. Immediately Antonio Conte took over. Despite the fact that Osimhen left, they got Lukaku. And it seems the magic has returned to the city of Naples.
It is really nice to see them do well. I like Napoli a lot. And even though I got worried by the exit of Osimhen, but I want to think that they did a swap. For me, this is a swap, like for like, because if you look at Osimhen, he's strong, he's quick, and he scores goals. And the same thing goes with a fit and a fit and an informed Lukaku. When Lukaku is fit and is informed, he usually gives you the results that you need, those goals that you need. That's what he has been doing so far, and they've been actually doing well. So I do not worry about them winning the league. I think they can, but can they pull it off with the kind of performance that Inter are putting in week out? Even though you would maybe want to think that Inter are not exactly where they used to be, like last season, they are not as sharp, they are not winning matches that they are supposed to win. But then the season just started, right? So it's very very quick, early to kind of make conclusions and and start pointing who would actually win the league. But I believe that this season we are going to have a good competition in the Italian Serie A coming from Juventus, Napoli, and Inter Milan.
Okay, big one there. Well, let's narrow it down to Premier League and NPFL. Those are the two matches we'll be focusing right now. At least you can still make your point. It seems technically network is not our friend this hour. But at least we should be hopeful that some people will be able to make it and at least join us on the show. Well, all the calls that have been coming now has been cutting off due to one thing or the other. But right now, for this weekend's matches, I know I don't even go through Manchester United. Their fans are not happy right now. But talking about Manchester City, Guardiola, Erling Haaland, the entire squad battle ready for this weekend against Fulham. What if you are to look at this game critically? Do you see Man City beating Fulham silly, like someone said?
Yeah, Man City would beat Fulham. Or we would expect Man City to beat Fulham. We would expect them to beat Fulham, even though it's not going to be easy. That's how I see it. I don't think it's going to be easy because Fulham are actually quite better than they were last season. And they are playing well, they are scoring goals, they are defending well, everything is working out for them so far. So would a Man City without Rodri beat Fulham? I think that's where people attention would be drawn to that match because Man City are not exactly balanced in the midfield the way they used to be because of the absence of Rodri. Now, would that affect them and stop them from going out to beat Fulham, which is the normal thing that they should do? I think that is more of a question than to whether if they would beat Fulham. Yes, on a good day with a working Man City, yes, of course they would beat Fulham and beat them mercilessly. But then this is a Man City without Rodri, and that Rodri, factor out of their game usually kind of haunts them most of the time. So if that hunting should happen,
Joe,
it should be this particular game because Fulham are in good form.
Let's quickly listen to what the caller wants to say before you continue. Hello, are you there?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, my name is Ismail. I'm calling you from Akko.
You're calling from where?
Akko.
Okay, go on. Let's have you.
Yeah, I'm really appreciate you for this. My favorite club, Liverpool.
Okay.
I think by the years ago we are going to win Crystal Palace 3-0. By the years ago. I think if I don't forget the last season, they winners against at Anfield 1-0. So this time around, we are going to win it like 3-0 by the years ago. Thank you.
And I'm sure you expect Mo Salah to score, right? Okay, the guy who actually couldn't hear, he said Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 3-0. I'm sure he's a powerful, strong Liverpool fan. Joe, you can hear him there, that he expects Liverpool to win that game 3-0 against Crystal Palace.
It is good that he remembered that Crystal Palace pulled a surprise win against them last time, and so maybe he should be worried a bit that they are playing this game not at Anfield. This game is at the home of Crystal Palace. Although to be fair, you would expect them to win this game. 3-0 is something they can do. Liverpool, Crystal Palace are not exactly as they were last season. They are kind of struggling too. But this is the Premier League. This is a week where everybody is focusing on the fact that Aston Villa would actually go ahead and beat Man United, only for us to wake up Monday morning and Arsenal have lost, Man City have dropped points, Liverpool couldn't win. This is the Premier League. It's full of drama, and surprises. So we just hope that the best team wins in that particular encounter. But if you ask me as an Arsenal fan that I am, I'll tell you that I wish that Liverpool, Crystal Palace kind of find their form against Liverpool.
Okay, while we're talking about that, let me take you to Chelsea. At least I'm wearing their color. Chelsea will be playing against Nottingham Forest. What are you expecting? I know the attention will be on some players who have really done well when it comes to the conference and all the other matches they've played so far. Palmer, Nkunku, and all that. Which player you are looking at that will make a difference for this weekend against Nottingham Forest for Chelsea?
Yeah, of course, you don't have any choice but to expect Palmer to keep up with his good performances, right? He has been doing well.
Joe, you have to hang on. We have a caller there. Hello, are you there? Hello? Okay, go on, Joe.
Yeah, so you would expect Cole Palmer, of course, to keep up with his good performances. He has been, playing really, really well, scoring 4 goals in the first half of a game of a Premier League that has never happened before. So, what more motivation does he need to go against Nottingham Forest? But the problem is, Nottingham Forest are a difficult team to play against. They run a lot. They run a lot, and because of that, they frustrate you. They make sure that they have a man, a forward that would hold up the ball and make sure that they also attack. When you start having players like Billing coming into the game and doing well, before you know it, your time is going and you are not really winning against them. So it's going to be not an easy game for Chelsea, but based on their current form and based on the performances we've been seeing from Cole Palmer, I believe he should be able to inspire a win at the Chelsea ground.
Well, while we're talking about that, your game is also coming up after Arsenal Southampton. That's a game that I don't want to write them off, that easily they can be beaten. I'm talking about Southampton now. But your team, Arsenal, they are also in the groove.
I'm not. If you are writing them off, I'm not even writing them off. The reason why I'm not going to write Southampton off was because last 2 seasons, when we had issues and stuff and fell away in the competition for the league, it was because of Southampton. I remember, see World Cup being the one who even scored the goal against us, and later was feeling bad about it. And another factor that worries me in this game is around Ramsdale. Ramsdale is going to play the game of his life. He's going to try everything possible to stop Arsenal from scoring against him. So those two things worry me. Actually, I do not like it when my team goes to play against another team and there is a player that just left for that team. Usually those things kind of haunt you, especially in the Premier League. So I'm looking at that and I'm not really comfortable and I'm not really confident going into that game. But if there's anything that can do it and pull it off against a Southampton that has not been winning, which by the way is another thing that worries me. They have not been winning. There is every tendency that they can pick up their form on Arsenal. Nothing is impossible when it comes to the Premier League. So all these factors culminating together kinds of worry me. But like I said, this is Arsenal. Our defense is good. Our attack is good. We can do it, and I believe we should be able to do it.
Okay, while you are believing in your team so much, Joseph Peter, at least our time is almost up. We want to appreciate you for joining us from Kaduna. Hopefully your team will make you proud. For the NPFL teams too, let the best team win. Thank you so much, Joseph Peter.
Thank you for having me. Hopefully Ramsdale doesn't have a field day today.
Okay. Well, we've been talking with Joseph Peter. There are matches on for this weekend, at least despite the fact that network wasn't really our friend. We were able to pick us 1 or 2 calls there on the show. But for the matches for this weekend, big one in Nigeria, Rangers, Abia Warriors. Big match coming from Southeast, Rivers, Aqua United. And in the Premier League, Man United away to Villa Park, Manchester City at home. They face Fulham, Arsenal, Southampton, Liverpool away to Crystal Palace. So many matches for this weekend. Well, go out there, enjoy those matches, and also support our own sportsmen and women. We want to appreciate you for time with us on the show Weekend Sport. Adeni G. Shafe. Have a splendid weekend, and I leave you with this Dambe traditional sport.
2,500,000. La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah. Subhanallah. Billion view. Terabi. Knockout. 2 million. La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah. Come watch us, watch us, 2 million. 500,000. Allah sagar kuwa bahawan ya sanda. Tashila. Ali Gabi Bello. Billion view. Why Kana? Ali Gabi Bello. Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah. Billion view. Terabi. Hura ubannatai. Keshata alasa. Keshata Ali Gabi Bello. Kosa bakajira sayakai. Billion view. Knockout. 2 million. Billion view. 2 million 500,000. 4 million. La ilaha illallah. 2 million 500,000. Management of Sharabai. Kana agade bana shibat ekun. Nigeria, the Russia. One championship, Double Warriors. Double Warriors. One championship. Shago shage mota da Allah. Ɗan Najeriya na kallon ka. Ɗan Najeriya na kallon ka shago shage mota. Shago ko sama kai gida sai ya kai. La ilaha illallah. Dan Rasha ɗauka duka. Dan Rasha ɗauka duka. Gaishe ka dan Rasha. Gaishe ka dan Rasha. Wallahi na ga muku Rasha fa. Akwai ɗauka duka Rasha. Dan Allah Rasha akwai ɗauka duka. La ilaha illallah. Ya gaji. Subhanallah. Ya gaji. La ilaha illallah. Gaishe ka Russia. Attacking Russia. Attacking Russia. La ilaha illallah. Attacking Russia. Defending Nigeria. La ilaha illallah. Wait the China. Russia. The Nigeria. Russia and Nigeria. Russia and Nigeria. Russia and Nigeria. La ilaha illallah. Rawata China Moyachi. Wait the China. The Russia. Gaishe ka Allah kiwa da bi. Da Allah. Sai fa ya jinga. Da Allah da maganin jini alzuma. Ana mai maganin jini alzuma. Ana mai maganin jini Aminu Goje. Ina gaishe ka da Adorinto. La ilaha illallah. Ga Allah Kabiru daga zo yana zaune. Na ce muku da Rasha ya iya dambe. Dan Rasha fa. Wai. Kata. Wai Allah. La ilaha illallah. Wurin wannan ko. Ana kiwa da bi. Subhanallah. Wait the trainer.